Hello and welcome back to Griffin, Indiana for episode 4 on Farming Simulator 22. So I thought I'll bring you in. I'm just finishing up our big field where the cows are. I finished mowing, I've processed some hay, I did some windrowing, and as you can see, I have decided to produce some silage bales. The main logic behind that is the fermenter silo is going so slow. So slow. So I'm never going to be able to process enough TMR to be able to move and grow my cow farm. So I decided I'm going to start investing some time in some silage bales. As you can see, I've already done 38. I'm using the class Unwrap. So it only does very small bales. That's the only downside to this one, but then you don't have to go and wrap after the fact. So it's only one piece of kit, which I do like. So I've rented this and I've rented the trailer. And I'm going to pick some of this loose grass up with the forage wagon, but I think I'm going to aim to do about 50 bales, and they got to, I think it's 3,500. Yeah, 3,500 litres per bale this does. So it's not that small, all things considered. It could be, you know, tiny. So that was what I ended up doing. So I picked up 95,000 litres of hay. So that's now stored up at the farm. And so that will help towards the TMR. We know we've got enough straw to sink a battleship. So we don't need to be worrying about straw. It's mainly silage that I was getting concerned about, that I've still got 50,000 litres to process of grass. So, yeah, hence why I've come up to this decision. There are actually some faster processing silage, fermenters for silage. There's one, the Hessen, which is 15,000. But I thought, do you know what? I've already got a fermenter, and I could just focus on doing some silage bales. I quite enjoy doing them. I find it quite relaxing. And it just mixes things up. I do need to think about a shed to put these in, or I could put them in my big shed that I do already have. I just need to decide on that. I don't know whether my driving skills will allow me to fit the trailer into that small gap. I'm not sure yet. But we're doing our thing, we're keeping busy. So I'll bring you back in once I finish my 50 odd bales, and then I'm going to go and pick up the rest of this grass loose, so that the fermenter is always doing something. If I could get another 50,000 in there, then we have a nice 100,000 odd, which can just churn away at its own pace. I'm absolutely fine with that, but right now I'm desperate for the silage. I can't do anything more. I need to make these cows as productive as possible so that we can get the milk, the slurry, the manure. I want them to be nice and happy, and they're not going to be happy until I fully fill their troughs. So that's the method behind my madness, and yeah, I'm also having a good time. So isn't that what it's all about? I'll see you in a minute when I've got up to 50 and I've started filling the other wagon. Catch you soon. So I have been really busy. I ended up picking up 200,000 litres of grass, And then I ended up doing 60 silage bales, all at 3,500 litres. So, yeah, a lot more than I expected. What is quite scary is I haven't even touched this bit of land here. So obviously this is where my soybeans are. This is where I've been mowing, getting hay and silage bales, etc. I've done nothing over here yet. So the leasing cost, as you can see, when my money's been dripping down, the leasing cost is every single hour is quite high. So I'm just now debating whether I send all this back and then just focus on ploughing this field and getting some seeds in, maybe get a couple more contracts. So I think that's what I'll end up doing. I ended up switching the time to real time, so we didn't go into October. That just helped massively so I could get this field done. But anyway, I'm going to start picking everything up. I'll just show you me picking a few up. I did grab an auto baler, an auto baler pickup trailer. Let me grab it. Just turn it operating. This is the Pong pack. It's very good. At some point, I really do need a more powerful tractor. You'll see I've actually brought the truck up to help with some of the work. But yeah, this is really going to help me just grab all of these, and I tried to clump them all together so that this didn't take too long. And then I'm thinking I'm going to get a different shed to put this in. I'm not quite sure yet, or I might move the seeder out of the way and use the one that I've got currently. So yeah, I need to have a think about that as well. This is one of the most satisfying jobs on the farm. It's one of the reasons I love doing bales, just so that I can see them pop onto the autoloader. I know it's not authentic, but I did do all the mowing and all the baling and all the wrapping. So it's nice just to have one easy job at the end of the hard shift. Oh, I think that is it. It's a bit odd, that shape at the end. It may be because you don't have to have the end rails on here. And I don't think you can. I'll put it in transporting mode. There isn't any fasteners. So they really, again, it's not very realistic, but there's no wobble there. So you can drive around like a crazy person and not worry about it. Okay, not that I'm going to do that, and I'm a bit nervous about swinging this around. Oh, I got it. Okay, good. Yeah, pulling, I ended up, because I was running out of time, I ended up putting the tedder on the back of my truck, and I was going at 24 miles an hour, just up and down, up and down, up and down, rather than 8 miles an hour. So, yeah, that was a little bit of a cheat, but it's a big field, and I wanted to get to the point where I could record another video this weekend. Otherwise, it was just not going to happen. So I need to have a think about this situation. I'm actually thinking of just putting them in here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to take the harvester out. Take these out and use this for the bales. I think that's going to be the best bet. I need a better place to store this header, really, don't I? Okay, Okay, I'm going to put it over here for now, and then I'll think about where I'm going to start storing things. Is my John Deere over here? I must have left the John Deere... Oh no, I know I've put the John Deere, I've put it in that shed. Let's get these out. I haven't had the opportunity to even use them yet. Let's put the seeder over with the fertilising. Sprayers and spreaders. That should fit in quite nicely there. Didn't give myself much room to manoeuvre though. Nope. There we go. Okay, and then I think I've got a cultivator in here. And this would be quite a nice little spot for my bales, I think. I may even be able to put the harvester back in here once I've put everything in. Now, I've never actually used this cultivator before. It's a bit small, so I probably will end up swapping that out eventually. See if I can just slot it in that little gap there. Not sure if that's going to fit or not. My spatial awareness is terrible. And now I'm stuck. Isn't that great? Alright, I'm just going to drop you there a minute. I'm going to deal with that situation in a second. Okay, let's spin this in. What I quite like about this is, you know, these particular trailers, I hate reversing them. And this being long, I'm going to be able to drive in and release them. So I'll go as far as I can, unload bales. I'll get them as far over as I can. There we go. This is actually quite a good trailer, to be honest. See, just I can never, for me, they just make no sense in my head. See, I'm already stuck. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself out of this pickle, pick up the rest of the bales, pop them in here, and then we'll decide what to do next. I'll see you in a moment. The evening is drawing in. So I made a decision. I sold that big shed and got a much smaller shed because I just don't have that much stuff at the moment. And I want a little bit more flexibility with, I might chop down this tree here and just open up the yard area slightly. That's my plan anyway. So the 60 silage bales you probably see in the background, they're all sitting there fermenting away. I'm just going to pop this grass in here for now. And then I'm going to put another 60 in here to be fermenting. Waiting for that trigger. There we go. I suppose I could put it all in here, but putting it some in there just gives me the flexibility if I do decide to swap out the fermenter silo. I don't want it to be churning and just not getting anywhere. So we're still, you know, that's only done another 1,779. So really, and that's been a whole day. So that's going to take a long time to do 100,000 litres. So that's why I've put some in here. So now over here we have another 139,000 litres of grass. We've got 118,000 litres of hay, 1.5 million litres of straw, and we still have our oats as well if we need them. So this is the little shed I got. I know it's very basic, but the harvester and the wagon fits under there, which is fantastic, and all the bales are beautifully just placed in here, fermenting away, which is great. So we've got sort of some at 5, some at 3. Let's have a look at these ones. 1%, 5%. It's a bit of a mixture. So they are working their magic. We will need to get some kind of maybe skid steer loader or telehandler or something with a bale fork, so that we can move them from into the mixer wagon. That's something we do need to think about. And then I just moved the seeder over here for now. And then I've got my cultivator here. I've got one tractor in there, and then I've got another tractor over there just with the mowers on. I've sent back everything else. So leasing wise, I just have the car, the additional planter, but I've got fertilizer in there. I've got the forage wagon, the back of the pickup truck, and the animals, and everything else we actually own. The one thing I was thinking about doing, it sounds stupid, but I'm thinking of chopping down this tree and potentially this one and just opening this up just a little bit more. I don't know what I'm going to do with this area yet. I might put another shed down, I'm not sure. So thinking about it, let's have a look at some contracts before the month turns and see what there is available, if anything. There isn't anything. How typical. So there is no contracts available. So we may as well just have an early night. Could be good for us to get an early night for once. I think I'm going to leave this out and just pop it to the side here. And then I'll park the car in the shed over here. Lock everything up. Yeah, and then have an early night. Why not? I will see you in the next part of this video. Bye now. So I've mapped out my field. It's going quite well, albeit slow. So I'm just going back, sort of uphill then downhill. And that seems to be working a little bit better. I'm not actually picking up that many stones, so I possibly could get away with not running the stone picker on here, but I will probably do it anyway, just to get those odd few up. I would like to start producing my own lime at some point. The idea is I aim always to have a self-sufficient farm, and that way I can then hopefully be more cost effective. It's much more, the return on investment's much better when you're not spending a fortune on, let's say, lime or fertilizer or seeds. Seeds can get expensive. So I could put some barley in here and then end up making some seeds, for example. So there's so much we can do, I'm not sure what I'm going to plant in here just yet. I haven't decided. But the field is going to go as far as the eye can see. I'm going to tidy this up around here a little bit more, but I didn't want to chop any of these trees down because I think it adds character to this field and I want it to feel natural. That was the plan anyway, but I will need to do a little bit of tidying up. I just wanted to get to the position where I could see, okay, yeah, that's the size of the farm, that's the size of the field, great. So yes, I will carry on finishing this up, then we'll go find ourselves a stone picker. I haven't checked contracts recently, let's just do that very quickly. I should turn the auto-saving off, but then I'd forget to save it, so I'm not going to risk it. It's same contracts, so that's a small harvesting contract and 2 baling. I mean, that might be worth it. Good, that might be worth it. If it's there when I finish all of this, I might do it. But my focus should be just on getting something planted for us to start building our little own empire. But I will carry on and I'll bring you back in once I have finished this. See you in a moment. So I finally finished that field. It took forever and Roxy agrees. Hey baby. I'm just fueling up. It burnt so much fuel trying to plough that field. It was going maximum 6 miles an hour, 1 to 2 at most of the time, so it was quite agonising to watch, to be honest. But why I'm down here, I've come to choose a rock picker, a stone picker. I really do want the scorpion, but I'm not sure. Let's see how much it is to lease and go from there. This also needs a little bit of a fix, this tractor. It's taken a bit of a beating. Okay, so that's going to be 2,000 plus 1,000 per work hour. Let's have a look. Oh, I should really go for that one, but it would just take me so much longer. That's 2 meters, this is 5 meters. I'm just going to go for this one. It is my favourite. I mean, my favourite's the one which is wider, but beggars cannot be choosers when you're starting out. And then, so I'm going to pick, and then I am going to, I think I'm just going to put in maybe some barley, something that grows relatively quickly. I think that's probably for the best. And we're going to need to sell something as well. We're running out of money. We don't have a weeder. So there's some fundamental things that we need that we don't have at the moment. So we've got a bit of a way to go. But I'll see you back at the farm in just a jiffy. My field. I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out, considering how difficult it was. To plough. It's not difficult, it's the most simple job you could ever do. But it's the fact that it was hilly didn't help. This is actually more up and down, and I realised there's just not enough power in this tractor to do the job. But we did it. I mean, the field's not perfect, but I think it's authentic. I didn't want to move the trees. I really like them in here. I want to save more space for some more buildings, more farms. I might get some greenhouses in there. haven't quite yet decided. So whilst I'm still in decision mode, my biggest worry right now is the fact that this is going to need liming. It's going to need rolling, and we have none of that equipment. So yeah, as ambitious as I was to get this ploughed, I'm now thinking maybe I just pick up the stones and leave it until I've got a little bit more money. We could have a look at how much a limer would be to rent, but then we may as well wait until our soybeans are ready so we can lime that field at the same time. So I think my plan will be just to prep this field. I know I don't have access to that land. I think I'll prep this field and then leave it until a point where I can afford to get a decent yield. If I don't have to roll, and of course you don't have to lime, it will still grow, but the quality, it just feels like cheating. And also I don't have a weeder, as I say, I don't have a weeder yet, so there's some equipment which I really do need. But I'm just pleased that this is ploughed in. We've got a field ready. And of course, once the soybeans are ready, we'll be able to harvest those and sell them. So that will be a really big win once they're ready. I expect we'll get at least 40,000 off of that. Although I think I've set this to hard economy, so we'll just have to have a look. The other option is I do have just shy of 20,000 litres of oats, which I could sell. And if things do get tight, I do have a bucket load of straw. So I could go down the route of doing that. I'm going to store these stones for when I can finally afford to buy something for lime production. Because of course lime can cost quite a little bit as well. And it'd be good if we were producing our own with the stones that we collect. I don't think I'll get that much off of here. The plough did not pick up many stones at all. But it's something, and that's all that matters. But if we just take a look at the field info, it does need lime. So after this, let's have a look. Maybe we just look now, see if there's any miracles. No miracles. What's the cheapest sprayer? 34,000. We have 28,000. I could lease it. That doesn't hold lime. That's fertilizer and herbicide. Okay. Am I going mad? I suppose I could use, it's the spreader. We need a spreader. This one here, there's lime, that's 45,000. I can't think of any other lime spreaders. If anyone else can think of any, can you pop it in the comments for me? I think it's only going to be these two. Unless there's any mods which I'm missing out on. But I think that... Oh, I need to turn it back on. I think that's going to be the only option for this particular Let's Play. I think I'm going to need to do some more contract work to build up my money again. And I'll just leave this field here. Then we'll get a limer, then we can seed and get the ball rolling that way. if I run before I jump, I'm going to get bankrupt very quickly. As we all know, 28,000 might be nice having your bank in real life, but in farming, that does not go very far at all. And my equipment currently is needing to be fixed. I've just had to refuel this one. I can imagine my others need refueling already. So there's a few things that we need to be careful of. I know this isn't a survival challenge, but it's kind of is turning out to be one. Maybe I'm overreaching, I'm not sure. But I've always got my silage bales if I need more money. I've got the straw. I've always got something to sell. So I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to get this, these stone picked. Make a plan for the next episode. I think it will be an episode full of contracts. Bring that money in. And contracts where I don't need to spend any money as well. Like, I can't really be affording fertiliser. Although I think I've got about 2,500 already purchased. And it's sitting in that additional tank. So I could take a look at that. And if there's a small contract, I could use that. And that would be pure money in the bank. And they're quick to do as well. So we've got a few options. Our cows are... Let's go check on our cows, actually. We haven't looked at them in this episode. So let's leave that there so I don't forget where I got to. Now, my dog has got her eyes closed, and now's a good time to come and have a look. So they are producing slurry. We've got 381 litres, which is fantastic. They're munching away at the food, but of course I can't produce any more food just yet. I've not got enough silage. Their health is at 100%, which is brilliant. We do have 203 litres of milk, so that's starting to get underway. And manure-wise, we've got 278 litres. So everything is ticking along. At some point, I am going to need to get a tanker so that I can move the slurry and move the milk. It might be a case that I end up using the slurry at the moment for fertiliser. That might be an option, because there are... let's have a quick peek. There's slurry tanks... Oh, goodness, no, we cannot afford that. But we do have slurry tanks here. There's one there for 22,000, and that can get... I don't have anything to produce digestate at the moment. We don't have a BGA, so we don't have anything for that just yet. But there are options here. If my cows stop producing a lot of slurry, it'd be more economical for me to have one of these, of course, than to keep on buying solid fertiliser. I don't have a way at the moment to make my own solid fertiliser. That's something that I will get to, but right now this is the only thing which I have. There is manure spreaders as well. There's one there for 28,000. So it would just be tossing up between the two. Do I want to spread manure or do I want to spread slurry? There's not much difference in the price or the production rate right now. I suppose there is more slurry than there is manure. 381 to 278. Yeah, so it might be better to do slurry, but whether slurry goes further, I think manure is better. But it is... Oh, look at them three together. How cute is that? Oh, they're just so sweet. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I know I've only got 10 at the moment, but I didn't want to overstretch, and now I'm really pleased I didn't. And I think that's probably a good place to finish the episode. I know it's quite a short one, but I need to do some thinking to decide what I'm going to do next. I hope you did enjoy the episode though. If you did, please give it a like, and if you're not already, please do subscribe. But most of all, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye now.